racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, and along with Drew Forster, we're going to go through the Sunday, June 22nd races at Hastings Racecourse. First race goes at 150. We got 8 of them on tap. Good feature. Nice allowance race, almost like a steak with shrug in it, success rate. Golden Triumph. It's a big, bulky field.
The Gov coming off a good
Rojo. It's a good race. It'll be a cool feature.
Yeah, a lot of popular horses in that one. There are a good 8-race card on tap. Supposed to be a good sunny, nice Sunday to head out to the races, and there are some very competitive races. I had a lot of trouble with my picks on this one. This weekend, for some reason, I had a lot of crosses.
Yeah, it's getting that time of the year where horses are starting to intermingle.
Like, and they're dropping.
The thing when you got a horse population that isn't as big, you get the handicap races where a lot of the horses are running against each other quite often. But now you're seeing horses drop and other horses come up that are doing well, and how do they fit against each other? It's a little more difficult. Well, we'll start with the Sunday opener. I got some 12-5 claimers. Speaking of droppers, you got a horse that just finished winning for 16,000, down for 12-5, and that's the 2, Lauren 500. One of 6 of them in here, and I've gone to Lauren 500. I liked him last time. Got a pretty good mutual on him for some reason. I don't know why he was that big a price, but he's a pretty cool horse. And the only reason he lost first time out because he had a dirty post and was very wide the entire race. But he's had 2 good runs since returning to Hastings from a nice campaign with Gordy Wells in Northern California. And I think he's going to be tough again. I put the 3-horse Michael's Glory in for second. He kind of had a rough trip last time. He would have been a little closer to Kai's Command and Deputy's the Command Exactor. But, he had kind of a rough go. I think he'll be closer to the pace.
He is a horse that does not get a lot of luck, Michael's Glory.
He just has enough speed to get himself in trouble. And he doesn't have enough speed to get the lead. He has enough speed or tactical speed to get him into some bad spots, and it just, when races set up good, then he does well. But when races get congested, he's always in the wrong spot, getting shuffled. I put the 6-horse Bubba Fizz in for third. Good second to Kai's Command, who of course came back to win that $16,000 race. That a pretty good field in here, and I landed on 2, 3, and 6. I got some route horses in Super Steve and Say Fabulous, some marathon stars in the race, and so I think the sprinters, though, are 2, 3, and 6.
Big Jim, too. He's a route horse as well.
Yeah, I think that's all your sprinters. I went 2, 3, 6.
I got the same horses. Lauren 500 is the obvious choice in here. Once, a nice win for 16 and just dropping in for 12-5. I put Bubba Fizz in the second spot because he runs second to Michael's Glory, Kai's Command, who came back and won for 16. And Kai's Command is one of the harder horses, harder claiming horses at the Hastings Park right now. They had Bubba Fizz entered back in for 8, and I had him pick that day, and then they scratched him to take that little jump up because Kai's Command has turned out to
prove that he got beat by a pretty good one.
Pretty good one, exactly. So I put him in the second spot, and Michael's Glory, as you mentioned, Amadeo Perez, John Snow, our good friend Wayne Oliver, team up for Michael's Glory. A horse, as we just said, if he can get a little bit more racing luck, wouldn't be surprised to see him in the winner's circle either. Those are the 3. We got the same horses, 2, 6, and 3 for me in the first. On to the second, Fillies and Mares. Number winners of the year for 4,000, 6.5 furlongs. I've gone to the 5, Beautiful Strike. Ran second to Revster just last week. That was going long. She shortens up. They run her back in a week. This is not your typical Troy Taylor type move, but when they do, they usually win, and that's why I've gone with her. The second spot, I put Danny's Chant. Fought a tough race, decent fractions, 23 and 46 for these lower end kind of horses, and got caught by Rainbows in the Wood late in the second spot. In Golden Ratio, Richard Hamill and Charlene Miller. Tough old Golden Ratio. She's a pretty salty old mare, and as these kind of races get thinned out, she will win one of these. I got her in the third spot. 5, 7, and 6 for me.
Yeah, I've gone to the speedy number 7, Danny's Chant. This horse fought the fight last time. I know the fractions weren't super fast, but they were congested. There was like 2 or 3 of them out there. The track was not fast that day, and it was just, this horse had a lot of pressure from the gate to the wire, and this horse just almost made it. Rainbow in the Wood nailed him, just guzzled her on the line, and that was unfortunate. Gets Amadeo Perez. I think Danny's Chance found a field where she can shake loose, and not shake loose, but I mean sit maybe on the outside of Beautiful Strike, and I think those 2, that could be your exactor. I think the only off the pace horse would be the 2-horse Hillingdon for me. I was impressed with the run to get up for third behind Victoria's Spirit and Suance's Flower. That was a good race against not a fast pace. I went 22 and 4, 46 and 2. It wasn't a brutal pace, and she still made a good wide run, and I think she's worth following as well. I went 7-2-5. I like Danny's chance to win it in the second. On to the third race. Got some $4,000 non-winners at 2. Fillies and mares going 6.5 furlongs. I ended up on the 7-horse Appreciate the Roses, who's taking a class drop for the Anita Bolton barn. Broke her maiden for 12.5, went up against 3-year-olds for 16. Didn't fare very well against Lady at War and Officer Mary, but I think this horse backing against a lot easier company, Non-2-4. I mean, they're taking, they're taking the edge here. They're definitely taking the edge, and I think she's live, no speed in the race. I think she sits on the outside of maybe the 3-horse on the edge, who's the horse I like for second. I think those are your 2 pace horses. The other 6 horses in here have no speed, so 3 and 7 should dictate the tempo. It should be a slow tempo, and I just think the 7, Appreciate the Roses, will be better than the 3 on the edge. I put the 8-horse Lovers Lyra in for third. That was an encouraging debut run. Behind its Gold Baby, the time was good. This horse ran a good race, and I think she's worth following as well, but I think she's going to be compromised by the pace. I went 7, 3, and 8. I
got the same horses. Appreciate the Roses, obviously the class dropper. This is your horse to beat. This is your favorite. I put Lovers Lyra in second. As you mentioned, a good second to It's Gold Baby, her first start of the year, when these other horses in there, like Allie's Bobcat and It's Gold Baby, had a couple starts under their belt. So I think if she moves forward off her second one, she could be kind of dangerous in here. I think Lovers Lyra is kind of a sneaky horse in here that you actually might even get a bit of a price on. And I put on the edge Steve Henson barn off the claim. Another one that looks like it fits well in here. The numbers are all good.
Pace scenario is good. For favorable pace scenario. That's why I kind of like the horse.
Exactly, and a lightly raced horse. 4 starts, a win in 2 seconds. You know, she looks like she can run a little bit. I went 7, 8, and 3. Same numbers as Mike in the third. Just jumped the bottom 2. On the fourth, here we go. 2-year-olds, maiden special weight, going 3.5 furlongs. I have gone to the 6 Park Avenue, a Keeneland purchase of the Troy Taylor barn. Works look good, and I know they are high on this horse, and their 2-year-olds always run well. That's enough for me. Alex Bisono in the irons for Troy Taylor. The second spot, Pedro Alvarado has a couple in here, and I think this is his liver one. This is a horse, filly actually. You got 4 of each in here. There's 4 boys and 4 girls. It's a nice even field. But I think she looks like the one that's a little bit a step ahead. Pedro's horses, I have a feeling they're going to show some zip. He always liked to be on the lead when he rode, and I feel that's kind of the way he trains too. He likes speed type horses, exactly. So I got Zip one in the second spot, and Tohatchi out of the Dave Forster barn. He's got 2 in here as well. Amadeo Perez, I think, gets the liver one here, and maybe the one that's a little bit ahead of the one Anazi Lass. But I went with Tohatchi. 3.5 furlongs is not going to be his distance, but I think that he's good enough that he could be in the show spot. So I went 6, 8, and 3 in the 2-year-old event.
I went to the 5-horse Forester's Devil.
That's the other one I was looking at. The backseat back.
I know. So precocious. I know. They are win early types. So they're very good 2-year-olds. Yeah. You know, some of them haven't gone on to do all that well. I mean, some of them have at 3 and 4, but I mean, they're awesome.
2, they're deadly.
They're brilliant at 2, as she was. Throughout her career. And the Shaws have bought this horse and given it to Craig McPherson again, and they pay good money for the horse. And this horse has been working brilliantly. Richard Hamill and Craig are on fire and drawn just inside of Troy Taylor's horse. So I don't know. Those were the 2 for me, 5 and 6. Yeah. Up at Park Avenue in for second. Wouldn't be surprised to see this horse be a monster either. So I went 5, 6, and I agree with your assessment on Pedro's horse. You know, very good at getting horses ready, Pedro. He always did a lot of work. When he was riding, he did a lot of work in the mornings. He was responsible for a lot of his, when he was riding horses, that his 2-year-olds that he was on would win. And he was doing a lot of the schooling. Juan Lara. Juan Lara, yeah. He did a lot of the schooling with these horses, and so he's been around a long time, and Pedro knows how to get one ready. Daughter Crystal Gala too. And yeah, there's good speed in the family, so I put that one in for third. But I went 5 and 6, and then I obviously Pedro's horse for third, 5, 6, 8 for me in the Sunday 4th. On to the 5th race. Got a maiden 5-grander here for Colts and Geldings, going 6.5 furlongs. I ended up on the 9-horse Wee Harry. I'm going to try an off the pace runner. I see a boatload of speed in here. The 1-horse Stolen Over Sky, the 2 Rockies Amigo, the 4 A Bunch of the Boys, the 6 Holy Cheroot, the 8 Pacific Crest showed a pile of speed, and I just see massive fireworks on the head end, and I can see Wee Harry maybe just sitting back in the weeds and making one late run. I was a little disappointed in his effort last time, but that was for 12.5. The horse is dropping down for 5. I'm going to try Ryan Pacheco for tacking away. I'm going to go with Wee Harry to win it. Put the 8-horse Pacific Crest in for second. Big class drop. Showed speed for about half a mile before succumbing to those early fractions, and you know, a lot easier assignment for him though. So I put Pacific Crest in for second, and I put the 4-horse, a bunch of the boys, in for third. This horse improved noticeably on the class drop, and you know, just had to battle on the pace. Horse ran well. Amadeo sticks with the hot barn. Anita Bolton, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this horse win. But I think you'll need a few horses in this race. But I landed on the 9-horse Wee Harry just because of the pace scenario and the class drop. 9, 8, and 4.
I went with the 2 expensive horses in here. I went with the 4, a bunch of the boys on top. Did take the drop down to 5,000 last time. Was expected to get the job done. Didn't. But his only second start of his life, maybe the third start. He puts enough together to beat a field of $5,000 maidens. Pacific Crest or the Troy Taylor barn, another one. They gave him a chance for maiden 25. He did not run very well, and they drop him aggressively to the $5,000 level. Those are your 2 kind of the class horses in here that obviously aren't living up to the potential for what they were purchased for, obviously. So I have them in the 1st and 2nd spots. In the 3rd spot, I took Alan May and Jim Beach's horse, Storm Over Sky. Was heavily favored last time. Disappointing run for 12.5. He finds his way down to 5,000. And if he can go back, the race 2 back for 12.5 was a very encouraging race. If he could repeat that performance, I think he'd be right in the mix.
I told Jimmy I wouldn't pick the horse. I told him I washed my hands of him.
Try to do him a favor. I got 4, 8, and 1 in the 5th. On to the 6th, 3-year-olds and up, claiming 8,000. I've gone to your outside. Where are we going here? Way to the outside. Mark. To the 9-horse Mark, of course. Mark, who always ran much higher here at Hastings, had some nice, you know, did well at Turf Paradise. Was in the mix in some stakes here. Went down to Golden Gate, ran for 16, 12.5. Didn't do a whole lot down there, but that was recently, and those races down there are fairly tough. And he'll be fit and ready. He comes in here. I think he fits into this $8,000 race very snugly for Mike Anderson and Richard Hamill. I think Mark is probably not going to be a big price, but a horse I really like in here. The 2nd spot, I went to the 3. This Bruise for You. Just got beat by Talk It's Charm, who I picked in the in the 16,000
on Saturday.
So I thought a good second, led the whole way and just got snapped late. He might take them the whole distance here in this mile 16 event. This Bruise for You from El Snow. And 3rd spot, Tamarack Smarty for the Cindy Krasner barn, gets the Bug Girl. She was in that same Talk It's Charm race last time. Another one that will like the distance out of the good stakes winning mare, Tamarack Bay. Bred by the Williams. I got Tamarack Smarty in the 3rd spot, 9, 3, and 8.
Yeah, I have the same 3 horses. I think those are your horses. Mark is, you know, obviously, you know, he's never really run great here at Hastings. He's been a good turf horse at Turf Paradise. And he likes the grass. He's run some decent races actually on the dirt at Turf Paradise too. But he's always been in stakes races here, which is kind of an unfair assessment of his abilities here.
He ran a good second to Go for Guinness on BC Cup Day
he's not
last year.
He's a nice horse, and I just think he'll relish the easier company. And I think he's going to be dangerous. The 3-horse, This Bruise for You, good form. You got to follow that horse back. And Tamarack Smarty, I was hoping for Amadeo Perez or someone on this horse, and I get a really experienced off the pace rider because this horse was best last time. But it was a bit of a fight going on, and but this horse is live, Tamarack Smarty. I just wish there was a little more speed in the race. And if I had to put a 4th one in, I did pick 9, 3, and 8, but the 4th one would definitely be the 6-horse, Vying for Glory. I don't mind Roseanne Choksey at all. You're going to get a few more points with him in the tack with your odds, and I think this horse loves a distance of ground. You know, it's coming off a subpar race, but that was a tougher, you know, open $8,000 race with Honestly Ossifer, who's been really hot. So I just think this horse is better going long.
He also seems to win when everybody ignores him. He's one of those horses he sneaks up and wins.
So I'm going to put 9, 3, 8 with honorable mention to the 6th. On to the 7th race. Got some $35,000 older geldings, as we mentioned off the top. Our feature race today.
Nice race, yeah.
It is a good race. I've left a lot of good horses off the, you know, out of the top 3, and I went to the 2-horse Golden Triumph. This horse, you know, went down there in 15 and change last time. How do you go against a horse that's going to get the lead, going to run probably very fast. Frank suits him well for the Swift Thoroughbreds, and Dino Condolinos. This horse, once he's out of stakes company, he's very dangerous, and he's tough in these allowance races. So I got to go to him to win it. Put a stablemate Shrug in for second. Suspiciously dropped in for 35,000, but obviously the Connection's not happy with his performance in the Longdon, so they put him in here for the 35,000. And I put the 8-horse Success Rate in for third. Another one getting out of stakes company, returning to a sprint, and I think you'll appreciate the easier company. I've left Senor Rojo off the ticket. I left the Gov. Casino Boss, who's nice. El Capone is a cool horse. Crew Leader has won numerous races here.
Yeah, you can make a case for almost every horse in here.
But pace-wise, I see Golden Triumph getting things really easy on the head end. I don't see any pressure coming his way. I got to take him to win it. I went 2-7-8.
I saw it a little bit different. I think there is going to be a fair pace in there with Casino Boss and Golden Triumph and Success Rate if he goes. The Gov has got a bit of pace to him. And even a horse like I'm Famous, he could kind of be a spoiler in here because he does have some speed. I think the Golden Triumph is going to be pushed. I think he's a horse to definitely to beat in this race, especially going 6.5. For all the class you have in here, he is the tough one. Is going 6.5. But I think maybe it's going to be a little hot up front. And if he falters at all, I like Senor Rojo. The move to Amadeo Perez. Amadeo Perez and Richard Hamill are winning everything these days.
It's there.
So I like Senor Rojo. Just kind of wait, and he'll be running down the lane, probably up the rail. And if Golden Triumph is getting tired, maybe he can catch him. Left Golden Triumph obviously in for second. He's a class horse, the one to beat in here, and I just think it might get a little hot for him. And I put the Gov in. A nice race last time, jump up and win that optional 30.
I picked him last time. I left town just because it was a good race. He got a good trip. He was going to get a good trip that day. I just worry about this race.
He's a bit of a Rodney Dangerfield type.
This race is way tougher.
It is way tougher, but he's always, he always runs hard. He always runs good races and never gets a lot of respect. I put him in there for kind of a bit of a flyer, maybe the Gov, because he's also got a nice kind of style where he can sit and stalk.
Sprint he's got versatility.
He can take a nice run down the lane, so I got him in the third spot. I got 9, 2, and 4 in a tough 7th race. I got a lot of marks on my program from changing my mind here a few times.
It's all right. It's that kind of card, as you mentioned off the top.
Which is good. That's good for bettors. On to the Nightcap Maiden 25 for 3-year-olds and up. I've gone to the 3 Spirit River, a good race in a maiden special weight 2-back. Got beat by the tough old Qatar's Pearl. Come back again for maiden special weight. Got beat by Slice of Red, Son of Tiago. These are some nice horses that he's been running against. Slice of Red is going to be a stakes horse here this summer, and he only got beat by him for 3 lengths. Drops into maiden 25. I think that makes him the tough one in here. The second spot, I went with the 6 3-way trade. I don't know my marks on here. I got him in second. 3-way trade. Horse that just about broke his maiden in the stakes here last year. Has not had much luck this year. Hasn't really shown much. I'm hoping that a little bit easier drop down to 25 maybe kind of wakes him up a little bit. And the third spot I put Windhammer. Amadeo Perez takes over for Sal Gonzalez Jr. Decent third last time for maiden 25, and I like the move to Amadeo Perez. I think maybe that pushes him forward. Obviously, Richard Hamill sticks with Spirit River, who'll probably be your favorite. I got 3, 6, and 8.
Yeah, I agree with the 3-horse Spirit River. Horse coming out of a couple of live races. Qatar's Pearl came back to win an onwards at 2. Slice of Red will win again. He's a cool horse. He's exiting 2 tough races, and this is a lot easier company for Spirit River. I got to go to him to win it. I put the 5-horse as Finally Friday. I liked him last time for the maiden 25. I know he was like 20-1 in the morning line. I knew it wouldn't be 20-1. He ended up going off at 9-2, but still he was out battling in 21 and 4, 45 and change, and he was right there at the end. Ended up tiring to run third, but still it was a good race on the class drop. I put the 6-horse 3-way trade in for third. I agree that the easier assignment for him, getting out of those tough maiden special weight races, getting away for Coffee Grinder, who's a stakes winner, and Qatar's Pearl, who's a 4-year-old who's come back to win, as I mentioned. So, and should get a good pace to run out. I think there's going to be speed in here, and I think 3-way trade, if ridden quietly early, could make some impression late. Good work since his last race in a minute and change, so maybe good things for three-way trade.
Kind of tells them too, like they're not scared to drop a horse, like to go to a maiden 12.5 or even a maiden 8 or 5, and they just take one step down to 25, so they still have some hope.
You have some hope for it. So I've gone 3, 5, and 6 in the Sunday finale. Well, that'll do it for our analysis of the 8-race card. Next up on screen will be a quick recap of our selections. Back in race number 1, I went to the 2-horse Lorne 500. I went 2, 3, and 6. Race number 2, I went to the 7, Danny's Champ. 7, 2, and 5, a reclaim for Marianne Baumgartner. Number 3, race number 3, pardon me. I went to the 7, Appreciate the Roses on the class drop 7, 3, and 8. Race 4, the 5, Forestry's Devil over the 6, Park Avenue, and the 8, Zip 1. Race number 5, the start of the pick 4. I'm going to try a bit of a price with the 9-horse Wee Harry over the 8, Pacific Crest, and the 4, A Bunch of the Boys. Going back to a 9 in the 6th race with Mark over the 3 and 8. The 7th race went to the 2-horse Golden Triumph, 2, 7, 8 for me in the 7th. And in the 8th and final, I went to the 3, Spirit River on the class drop 3, 5, and 6. Next up will be Drew's selections. There they are.
There we go. In the first race, I agree with Mike on number 2, Lorne 500 over the 6 and the 3. The second race, I went with the 5, Beautiful Strike over the 7 and the 6. In the third, I'm again with Mike on number 7, Appreciate the Roses over the 8 and the 3. In the fourth, the baby race, I went to the 6, Park Avenue over the 8 and the 3. In the fifth, I went to the 4, A Bunch of the Boys over the 8 and the 1. In the 6th, I'm with Mike here again on number 9, Mark over the 3 and the 8. In the 7th, I went to the tough old number 9, Senior Rojo over the 2 and the 4. And in the nightcap, the 8th race, again, I'm with Mike on number 3, Spirit River over the 6 and the 8.
All right, that'll do it for the Sunday edition of Handicapper's Corner. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Hopefully we've given you a little bit of insight into the Sunday program. Quick reminder that next live card will be Saturday, June the 28th, and then Sunday, June the 29th, and then Tuesday, Canada Day, July the 1st. We have a holiday program as well. So three cards next week. Saturday, Sunday, and then the holiday Tuesday. So should be a lot. 4 stakes races on the Tuesday card, the July 1st program, as we will have the 3-year-old fillies, 3-year-old colts, of course, prepping towards the BC Oaks and the BC Derby, and of course the older horses will be in the Lieutenant Governors, and I can't remember the filly and mare stake, but still all the older horses will be in stakes races, 3 and ups anyway, on the July 1st program. And so it's always a lot of fun, always lots going on July 1st as well. So 3 important days coming up in the next upcoming week. Look forward to seeing everyone at Hastings, but if you can't make it, don't forget they get the Derby Bar and Grill down here in South Surrey on 0 Avenue and 176 that you can come and get great meal. Yep,
great place to watch the races on your, especially every day, but the Saturday and Sundays simulcasting from all over North America, of course. And of course, we got Hastings on the big screen. Always
the patio outside. You got TVs. Outside. You got lots going on outside as well. So
always great food specials, a few drink specials.
So come on out to the Derby Bar and Grill if you're not going to Hastings. On behalf of Drew, thanks for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.